The 2021 NFL Draft is coming up starting on Thursday, April 29th. And among the draft prospects hoping to hear his name called that weekend, Benjamin St. Juste from the University of Minnesota. Benjamin, thank you for taking some time to join me today. How are you? How's the process been going so far?
Thank you very much for having me. And I've been great. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime process. Taking it day by day, having fun with it, with interviews, the workouts, meeting all 32 NFL teams, and having the chance to be around other teammates, other guys actually that have the same dream. That's really a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I'm having a lot of fun.
No question about it. And I assume that it's something that you've been dreaming about for quite a while since you got your start in football. Take me back to that moment. What was it that drew you to the game in Canada
Yeah.
to go and start playing American football?
Yeah, so I started really playing Pop Warner football at the age of 9 years old when I moved to the North Shore. So I was in Montreal, like down in the city. And then when we moved, I started playing football. My dad played football and basketball at a high level. And I just asked him, like, what's your favorite sport out of basketball and football? And he said, I really like football. So I just wanted to be like Pops, wanted to play football. And obviously, being from Canada, everybody plays hockey, including myself. So playing football was kind of like the uncommon route. I wanted to be that different, that kid that's different, that makes it out of Canada playing football instead of hockey. So that's what drew me to playing football.
And you mentioned hockey there. That's a sport that I don't often hear come up when I'm doing these interviews with prospects in terms of some of the sports they played when they were younger. And I'm always interested in hearing how you guys think that playing those other sports helped you on the football field. So, with hockey in particular, how did some of those skills maybe translate for you to playing corner in football?
Yeah, so I mean, just playing a lot of different sports really helped. For me, hockey really helped me with my agility, going side to side, stopping and breaking, and being quick on my feet. And that's how I was able to put up great numbers and the short area drills like shuttle and L drills and all that stuff. And I just kept that my whole process. And obviously, as a younger kid playing hockey, I was always with the older kids. So that physical part of like jamming someone into the what's it called, the
The board.
arena or the board or whatever, or just taking that contact and just being tough about it, like that kind of forged me into it and prepared me for football later on in my life.
Yeah, that's really a fascinating kind of crossover there, how you see that lateral quickness come to play here on the football field for you. So, when you were coming up and going through and playing all of these different sports, you mentioned the fact that you wanted to be the one to come out playing football and go to college and then make it on now to the NFL. But what was the moment for you where you realized that that was a possibility? When did that kind of set in for you? Like, oh, okay, I can do this at a very high level.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie to you and say that like as soon as I started playing football, I knew that I was gonna make it because growing up we didn't have that many representation in terms of players from Quebec, Montreal being in the NCAA Division One or the NFL. So for me, it was kind of like a far long dream that was like, okay, maybe it was gonna happen or not. So I was kind of playing football for fun, just playing, going to school, playing football. And then when I was 16, 17, my parents were like, um, they really saw the potential that I had. They saw like the skill set that I have. I had a specific skill set at my position I was really good at. And they were like, you should sign up for some of those camps like in the US and go test your talents against American talent, like American players. And I was like, all right, you know what, like I'm just gonna do it. And then I did it. My first camp in 2015 was in Michigan summer camp. It was a 3-day camp, and it was first year Coach Harbaugh was there. And I went to that camp, performed very well for 3 days, and I got my first full scholarship at that school. And that kind of like, opened my eyes to like, okay, I can really like make this happen. I can go to school for free. I can, play. I can actually make it to the NFL. So that kind of opened the door for me. And after that, my recruiting process started, and, it brought me to where I am today.
And I saw you mention elsewhere that one of the things coming out of Canada that we really don't necessarily think about here in the States for football players is that recruiting process, right? You guys don't have the same sort of coverage that we have here, whether it's 247 Sports or Rivals or whatever the case is, all of the ranking systems. So for you going through that process, I imagine there was a little bit of a chip on the shoulder, right? To prove, hey, look, I can do this too, and I can play at this high level with these guys.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, like we didn't have no website ranking us 4 star, 5 stars, whatever, all that stuff. No coaches coming to see us for satellite camps and all that stuff. So you had to earn every single thing that you had. You had to earn your camp invite. You had to earn your scholarship. Crazy thing is that I ended up being a top 10 corner in my class, a top 100 overall player, 4 star. but with only 3 scholarships. Usually guys that are 4 or 5 stars have 20, 25 scholarship. I only had 3 because none of the coaches were believing me that I was that good. They're like, he's from Canada. He might not be that good. He doesn't play good competition. So we got to see him in camp. So all 3 offers that I have, Virginia Tech, Rutgers, and Michigan, I went to their camp and just balled out and earned my scholarship. So that's how hard it is.
No question. And you end up going to Michigan first before transferring to Minnesota. And I wonder what it was that drew you to the Minnesota program to then go and spend the past couple of years there before now coming out into the draft process.
Yeah, so when I had a chance to graduate from Michigan, I was a graduate transfer, so I had the freedom of going whatever school I wanted to. Minnesota was one of the first schools to offer me and really recruit me hard, and they were coming up. They were coming out of a great season in 2018, just won their bowl game. Coach Fleck, young, energetic, super honest coach that I really clicked with him super fast. And my dad was there too for an official visit. And it was another Big Ten school too, not too far from home. So parents can still come see the game. So I kind of said, you know what, let's roll with them.
Absolutely. And in practice every day now at Minnesota, you're going up against Rashod Bateman, who is one of the top wide receivers coming out in this year's class as well. I wonder how you feel that really impacted your game, having those matchups every day and learning and battling against him on a day-to-day basis.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing because most of the time, my matchups against him, it could be one-on-one scrimmage, Oklahoma drills, or whatever. We was finding each other because we knew that he was wide receiver 1, I was CB 1. So iron sharpens iron. We go at each other, we get better and all that stuff. And most of the time, the matchups against him were better than the matchups that I seen in the game. So when I get in the game, I was comfortable because I went against him the whole week against practice. So he definitely got better. And then I got better. So it was a mutual development. And I'm really grateful for that.
And you're a bigger corner, 6'3", about a 6'6" or so wingspan. Just how does that play into your game on the field?
Plays it. I mean, with the new generation of receivers, the big and the tall guys and fast and all that stuff. Like this is where I come in with my long wingspan and being quick on my feet because it's one thing to be tall, a tall corner, and then you can't move. Most of the guys can't move; they're not fluid and all that stuff. The fact that I can move very fast and quick side to side and all that stuff really helped me in my press man coverage to really stop the receiver at the line or make some of the, you throw a jump ball, you throw like a deep ball, and then some of the guys, maybe they won't be able to reach it because the quarterback throw it so high. But for me, I can just jump and go get it, with my height and my length. So that really helps me and separates me from the rest of the guys.
And your performances at the Senior Bowl and then Pro Day during the course of last week have really drawn strong reviews for you. Just going through that process, a little bit different of a draft process that we have this year with the combine not being quite what it was in previous years. Just what did you learn from going through the Senior Bowl first and then through Pro Days?
Senior Bowl was really a blessing also because it gave me my first glimpse of what it would look like in the NFL. I was coached by the Miami Dolphins staff. I was around other guys that were going to go in the NFL too. So I kind of got a sense of like how it would work, how the playbook would work, what's the atmosphere, what are the coaches looking for into a player. So that was nice. And then the Pro Day is just it tests how composed and how relaxed you can be. Most of the guys will crumble under the pressure because all 32 teams are there taking notes and all that stuff. So then you're like, oh no, can I perform? They're trying to see who can perform under pressure. And then I think that's what I did because I play football for fun. I have fun with it. I don't treat it as something that's stressful and gives me anxiety. So I just had fun out there, and that's how I did well.
And now as you're preparing for the next level, I do wonder who are some of the corners that maybe you look at in the NFL game and say, you know what? I like what they're doing. I like this nuance here that they're bringing to the position to try and incorporate into your own game.
Yeah, so I really like Jalen Ramsey, physicality and aggressiveness, especially same kind of body type. I really like Richard Sherman because he's a student of the game, very smart guy, understanding offense. And then I would say Marlon Humphrey, run support guy. Not scared to show up in the run game and go tackle people, running backs, and all that stuff. So those 3, I try to look at them and their technique and their style of play.
3 very good role models there on the field. Now, I want you to take me a little bit off the field as well, because you were one of the athletes that was very outspoken during the course of last summer, speaking out on social and racial injustice issues, and then also going into the season, speaking out for better safety protocols when it came to the COVID protocols that the NCAA was instituting. I wonder what it is for you in your background that makes you so comfortable to go out and use your platform in that way? Because not everybody is in that respect. What makes you comfortable in doing that?
Well, for me, it was easy. I saw the platform that I had, and playing college football, like you have so many followers and people looking up to you for football, for sports. But I'm like, we can talk about football every day, 24/7. But what about those social issues and the racial discrimination and issues that we have in our society? Once we take all the equipment, we're just like them. So it could happen to one of us, it could happen to one of my teammates, my coach, and all that stuff. So I was like, instead of just talking about sport, let me use my platform to educate certain people and put a spotlight on that. So maybe I can like change the life of certain people and better my community around me. And the second thing is that we were going through so much of a hard time with COVID and all the atrocity that we were seeing, and like George Floyd, Brown, and Taylor, and all that stuff, and especially like the COVID protocol where the season being canceled and all that stuff. That was like 15, 20 years later, when my friends or my kids asked me like, what did you do during that time to better the situation? I didn't want to be a bystander and be like, I don't know, well, I was just waiting for it to get better. I want to be someone that I did this, I did that, I tried to do this, it didn't work, but I tried to do this and it worked now. So I want to be someone that participated to make it better instead of just being a bystander.
And that's a perspective and a willingness to speak out that, like I said, we don't necessarily see from everybody, because maybe not everybody's comfortable doing so or speaking out in public. How much did your parents maybe influence you in that respect? How many conversations did you have back and forth with them during these times, and talking about all of the issues that were going on?
Well, I had a lot of conversation with them. I was like, sharing them information with them and what I'm gonna do in the projects that we had and all that stuff. But it wasn't like, it was really a conversation I had with myself, a personal conversation I had with myself that says like, I'm gonna do this, I want to do this and all that. And I was passing the information back down to my parents. They were very supportive, but it was really an individual decision to really start speaking up on those things and use my platform to better the society around me. So.
And that platform only going to grow now as you go into the NFL. So I wonder, as we get ready for this process here in the coming weeks, just what are some of the goals you have for that next level personally? What you want to accomplish?
For me, I mean, in football, I just want to have an instant impact as a rookie. Going whatever team I go, I want to have an instant impact on my position. It could be a starter, being the best in my position, being all pro. It could be on special teams. It could be at a practice squad. It don't matter. I just want to have an impact to bring something to the team. So then my individual goals can be accomplished, and then the team goals can be accomplished at the same time. So this is what I want. I don't set specific goals. I go by the philosophy of like, if I can get better each and every day, changing my best, being a better Benjamin than I was yesterday, I will accomplish those goals at some point.
So the final question I have for you, and I know it's one that you've probably been asked a bunch during the course of this process, but for any organization that's selecting you and bringing you into the fold, what are they getting in Benjamin St-Juste?
Well, they get a trustworthy player that's competitive, that's tough, that's versatile. I feel like what separates me from a lot of other guys in my draft class is my versatility. There's not that many corners that is 6'3", 200 some pounds that can move like me, that can play on all four special teams, that even played a little bit of safety at the Senior Bowl, and that can be moved around. And I'm very coachable. So I'm a sure pick, as you can say. Like any teams that picks me, like they shouldn't be like, oh, we don't know about this, or maybe he has this. Like it's a sure pick. Like whoever team picks me, like they get a baller, and then they get someone that's trustworthy. So.
Well, Benjamin, thank you so much for taking some time. I know it's a busy time of year for you, but we're only a couple weeks away now from the draft. Enjoy the rest of this process, man, and good luck to you as you go forward here into the NFL.
Thank you very much.